Congressman Jolly, I'm going to guess this is one of those weekends where you do not miss being in Congress. And I want you to tell me, as someone who has been through this process, you got NBC News reporting first, President Biden, Speaker McCarthy just spoke on the phone in the last hour. How much of this gets done by those negotiators around the table that we watch B-roll of them walking into the Capitol in their sneakers to duke it all out? And how much of the work actually gets done with the president and the speaker on the phone?
Yeah, it's a matter of sequence, Alicia. And look, my very first debt limit debate as a staffer was raising it from 4.7 trillion to 5.1 trillion. We're now in the 30s. So I have been through a lot of these, and I'll tell you what we are seeing now are the principals negotiating, Joe Biden and Kevin McCarthy. This can go a lot of different directions, but I would say what to look for is this. Joe Biden and Kevin McCarthy clearly, inevitably, will have to reach some type of compromise. The Republican conference does not do compromise well, right? The hardest line Republican conservatives, the Matt Gaetzes and those folks, they don't do compromise well. And if Joe Biden is saying to Democrats, hey, this is the deal we're going to take, he will get Democratic votes. So what does that mean? You could have a debt limit pass with maybe the majority of Republicans, maybe not, and some Democrats. That is a death knell for Kevin McCarthy, a man who hangs on to the speakership by just a handful of votes. If he is compromising with Democrats and is not getting all of his Republicans on board, a week from now, we could be talking about the peril around Kevin McCarthy, but hopefully Biden and McCarthy have struck a deal to raise the nation's debt limit.
Molly, on spending that we have already done, right? Like that is the piece that is very easy to get lost in all of this. Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett had this to say about the House GOP earlier on MSNBC. Take a listen.
The Republicans have just been engaged in the height of hypocrisy here. They were not worried about the size of the debt when they raised it 3 times for President Trump, when they borrowed trillions of dollars for tax breaks for those at the top and the multinational corporations. Now they only get concerned about debt reduction when Democrats are in charge. And I think it has less to do about the size of the deficit than an opportunity to cut programs they never supported for education, for protection of our air and water, for opportunities for people to advance in our society.
Molly, the height of hypocrisy, what do you make of what we're seeing from House Republicans?
Well, this is their opportunity to gum up the works and make life hard for Joe Biden, and that's what they're doing. I mean, they only control the House. They don't control the Senate. They don't control the presidency. And they think that they can sort of go in there and possibly ruin the economy and make it bad for Biden and ruin the U.S. credit rating. I don't think that ever. I think there are a lot of Republicans who don't want that, and hopefully the Biden administration will be able to get those Republicans to sign on, but I think you're going to likely have a compromise, and you may have people like Matt Gaetz, like Chip Roy, the kind of people who want to blow up the federal government. Those people may not sign on, and I think that's a real possibility.
Right. I mean, David, just to go back to something you said, this is a test for 2 new leaders in the House, both the self-made crisis on the part of McCarthy. Talk to me about that, but also the position that this then leaves Congressman Jeffries in as the leader of the House Democrats.
Yeah, that's right. The self-made crisis is so important here because we can't overemphasize that context here. There is a legislative process to enact work requirement changes, to change Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. There is an annual budget process that Republicans are currently involved in. They could shut down departments with an annual budget appropriation strategy, but they are choosing to hold hostage the nation's good faith and credit, full faith and credit, to try to extract the cost they can right now, and that is the bad faith negotiation. So what does it mean for Jeffries? Look, Joe Biden needs a deal as well, one for the future of the country, but also politically it doesn't help anybody if we see a collapse. So ultimately, whatever deal is struck, Joe Biden's going to say to Jeffries and the Democratic caucus, hey, I need some of you to lend votes to Republicans because they're not going to keep all of them. Look, that will be Democrats acting in good faith, but Alicia, it puts Kevin McCarthy in an awful bind. Right, he's got 5 votes hanging on to the speakership. And if he abandons 5 or 10 hardline Republicans to compromise with Democrats, that is a death knell in Republican politics.